Today I fucked up by changing my store manager's work login password to fQueen696969. Happened last night, but only found out how big I fucked up today when I went into work. So, I'm an assistant manager for a large supermarket chain. Last night I went into work as usual. Did my usual thing of managing a bunch of part-time students who don't give a fuck about their job and only care about their paycheck at the end of the month. Same as me. So the night goes fine, we get everything done and I head to the office to do. Let's just say I have to click a button so numbers for the day get sent somewhere. The only way I can click this button is by using the login details associated with the store manager. Now, these login details are something he uses to get into the in-store computer, and he uses them probably 30 times a day when he is working. All managers have their own logins, but the store manager's logins are the only way you can press this button at the end of the night. So, as I sign in with his login details, a tab pops up telling me I have to change the password before I can progress. There is absolutely no way I can press this button, which I need to press, without changing the password. So I change it to fQueen696969. I write the password on a piece of paper and out it in the drawer labeled store manager. Me and the store manager get along really well, and I know he would usually find this hilarious. But the next morning when he arrived, he had a store visit from the head of sales for his country. This only happens one day out of every year, if that. Sometimes once every 2 years. I'm gonna set a scene now from what I heard from the store manager. Him, his area manager, the head of sales for the country are sitting in the store office. The head of sales asks to see something on the computer. He asked to see staff expenditure, which is something that can only be accessed from the store manager's logins. The store manager tells him his login details. Head of sales tries to log in using his old password. Didn't work. Tries again, didn't work. Store manager realized the password was changed the night previous, as happens quite often, and texts me as he knows I was the one working the night previous. I tell him the password is on a piece of paper in his drawer. He then tells the head of sales for the country that said password is on piece of paper in the drawer next to him. Head of sales opens the drawer and pulls out a piece of paper that says password Queen696969. He told me that the head of sales typed it in and placed the piece of paper back in the drawer without mentioning anything whatsoever. It was only when he went back to sign in after the head of sales and area manager both left that he saw the piece of paper with the password. He's expecting a very angry phone call from the area manager very soon, in which I will probably get in a lot of trouble. But all I can do is laugh uncontrollably every time I pass him while working. I've never laughed so much in my life. Too long didn't read. I changed my store manager's login password for the work computer to Queen696969 on the day the head of sales for the country came into for a yearly visit. Edit: a number of people are not sure what a queef is. They should be much more worried about their terrible system design, which requires passwords to be shared at all. Reminds me of a time long ago that a co-worker got in trouble for having nude pictures on the shared work computer. Our supervisor scolded us and asked us to rat out who put the pictures there. No one talked. He said he had to step out for a minute and we would all talk more. Well, I noticed he left his laptop logged in when he left, and we all know he had talked about raunchy pictures that he and some other supervisor had been sharing. So I searched his laptop for JPG and found it. Set it to his desktop wallpaper, closed all open windows, then shut his laptop. When he comes back in, we are all joking around about how short this reaming will be. Then we see that he brought in a female manager from HR to talk to us. They both go sit in his office and are talking. We are all sweating bullets now trying to figure out how this is going to go. He doesn't opens the laptop, and then calls us all in. The HR lady talks to us a while about sexual harassment and workplace etiquette. Finally our manager gets bored listening to this and opens his laptop to check email or something. I don't think he even logged in. He just started at the screen with 3 obese ladies in provocative pisses and no clothes on his screen for several seconds, then closes his laptop. He thanked her for coming and talking to us, then ended the meeting. She looked confused as there was apparently more she had planned to say, but had not gotten to yet. 3 obese ladies in provocative pisses. Golden. This is the employer's fault for having a system that requires people to use other people's credentials to do their job. Passwords and accounts are not shared resources. BTW man, it puts the thumbnail as a photo to the post on mobile. Not falling for that one, dude. I saw that and somehow still fell for it. The only thing that strikes me as wrong about any of this is all the sharing of passwords. Disaster waiting to happen. Today I fucked up by using pillows wrong for 21 years of my life and thousands of dollars in chiropractic treatment. To paint the scene, I have horrible spinal issues with names I cannot pronounce. After several neck injuries and a pinched nerve, I no longer can lift objects more than 10 pounds. Most of quarantine I was practically bedridden because the pain was so severe. My neck is beginning to lose its curve. I have paid thousands of dollars in chiropractic and physical therapy fees in an attempt to reduce the pain and reverse the damage. My chiropractors always mention that my pillows might be the wrong size. I ignored this advice because I had different pillows and they were all uncomfortable. Here I am laying in bed thinking I need a larger pillow when I look over at my significant other. Just his head is on his pillow. Today is the first day in my entire life that I've ever heard your shoulders don't go on the pillow too. I've just been laying with my neck and shoulders flat on the pillow, slowly flattening the spine in my neck for 21 years. The pillow literally only ticks under the head. My neck has never felt this supported in my life. And after 30 minutes of hysterical laughter at the thought of not knowing how a pillow works, I realized that I really fucked up my life by using my pillow wrong and giving myself chronic pain. Too long didn't read. I just learned that your shoulders don't go on your pillow, and because I slept like that I now have chronic pain and irreversible damage to my neck, spine. Edit, please stop bullying me in my DMs saying I deserve to never get better. This was a stupid post about pillows. You make me feel like there's no point in trying to stay strong anymore. Not gonna lie, you got me over here second guessing rather or not I'm using a pillow properly. Edit, thanks for the awards, guys. You should look into the ergo pillows that can help support your neck's curvature. They work okay if you sleep on your back, but I don't think it's comfy for side sleeping. I have chronic neck problems and it sort of helps. I have one of those and a fluffier pillow for sleeping on my side. Not a cure-all, but it might help. But, every pillow commercial and advertisement shows only the person's head on the pillow. How did you not notice? I had my shoulder on my pillow as I am reading this and typing these very words. Fuck, man, I feel so comfortable having a tiny bit of my shoulder on the pillow. Is it really wrong? I don't understand how you can go your entire life thus far and not have accidentally made yourself more comfortable by having the pillow only under your head. There so sleeps next to them every night, and never said a word. Today I fucked up by having sex in my parents' bed and accidentally getting my dad caught in an affair. This was a long time ago, when I was a senior in high school. My parents decided I was old enough to be home while they went away to a couple's resort somewhere in the Caribbean. Being a good kid, I kept my promise to not have any parties. Being a not so good kid, I invited my girlfriend of the time to sleep over while my parents were out shagging each other silly on some pink sand beach, or so I assumed. My brother was away at college, but I still slept in the bunk bed we had growing up. I didn't think it would be very good for sex, and it was too skinny for two people to sleep on. I was pretty sure she wouldn't want the top bunk all to herself either. So I changed the sheets in my parents' bed and planned on doing all the sleeping and screwing there. There was an initial ick factor, but when you're young and horny and there's an entire bed, an entire house to have sex in, you get over that sort of thing fairly quickly. Here's the screw up. In anticipation of more consecutive days of sexual activity than I had ever imagined possible, I had purchased the big box of condoms. It had like 36 rubbers in it. I figured it would last the first weekend, and then we could go get more. I'm not sure why, but at some point I took one out of the box and tried it on. Maybe I wanted to make sure it would fit on my enormous penis? Yeah, that's probably it. Anyway, it seemed okay, so I took the condom off and threw it away. Then I hid the box with the other 35 of them in my dad's nightstand. I mean, I didn't want my girlfriend to see a giant box of condoms sitting right out in the open. She might get the wrong idea about me. As it turned out, I never got to use any of the condoms. My girlfriend had also prepared for the big event. Without telling me about it, she had seen an ob/gyn and got a prescription for birth control pills. And she had timed it so that they'd be effective before our ultimate shagathon. And so the condoms remained, unused and entirely forgotten, in my dad's nightstand. This isn't about the actual shagathon, so I'll just summarize it as awesome. Fast forward nearly a year. I'm now living in a dorm. One night, I get a call from my brother who tells me that mom and dad are getting a divorce. She apparently caught him cheating on her. I'll never know the full details, but from what we could gather, it went like this. 1. Mom found a giant box of condoms in dad's nightstand, and it was opened and one empty condom wrapper was inside. I didn't remember doing that, but it made sense that I would. 2. She accused him of having an affair, and said she had evidence, meaning the box of condoms, but not being specific at the time. 3. He believed her without asking what evidence, exactly, and admitted to having had an affair a few years prior. 4. Huge fight. Angry words exchanged. Lawyers engaged. Divorce imminent. It took a second, but then I remembered the 35 baby barriers I had left in my dad's nightstand. Blame the fog of war or something. I definitely hadn't been thinking about cleaning up after myself. Granted, my dad's inability to keep his zipper shut was not my fault, and it's possible that he might have been caught some other way. Unlikely, though, since the affair had been completely over for more than 2 years. And it's not like they had a perfect marriage. Things were pretty messed up long before all of this. I'm pretty sure that the Caribbean vacation had been sort of a last-ditch effort to rekindle their spark, but the initiating event was all mine. Too long didn't read, left an orgy-sized box of condoms my dad's nightstand. My mom discovered it and saw an opened condom wrapper with no condom in it inside the box. Mom accused Dad of having an affair, citing my leftover box of condoms as evidence. Dad, not realizing that the evidence cited was none of his own, admitted to a prior affair. This was the tipping point for other marital problems, and provided my mom with a reason to divorce my dad. Note, I have no idea whether or not they cleared up the mystery of the magically appearing condom box. I never told anyone in my family that they had been mine, and nobody's ever speculated about it. My guess is my dad kept his mouth shut because it was too late, and no one else had any reason to discuss it. I'm more impressed that this guy was sure he'd burn through 36 condoms in a weekend. Respect. Being 16 and a guy can do shit to you. In a manner of speaking, everyone in this scenario got fucked in one way or another. If your parents' marriage was on rocky ground at that point to begin with, maybe your dad just figured, yeah, what the hell, you caught me, knowing he wasn't actually caught, but it made for a good excuse to end things. Yup, no cheating husband is going to do something so obvious as leaving a 36-pack of condoms right there in his own bedroom. And any wife who would take that as irrefutable evidence of his unfaithfulness is not playing with a full deck. Dad definitely wanted out, and saw his chance. It's okay, honestly we only stayed together for you guys. He wasn't into kinky shit and we weren't a good match anymore. Edit, thanks for the award. Edit 2, my top comment is about cheating on my wife. Perfect. Your dad didn't see a giant box of condoms in his nightstand for that long. There were bigger factors at play.